the 911 Calls Podcast with the operator.
She said she put the woman's body in a wheelbarrow and wheeled her out into the backyard to a burn pile.
Oh, hello, Jess.
I heard the beep late.
Did I say hi, Jess, before the beep?
No.
Hi, Jess. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. In the quaint city of Gastonia, North Carolina, a place known for its rich textile history.
You're just really getting into it. You're awesome. All right, here we go.
You said get into it.
All right.
So
All right.
I'm just getting right in. You know what? If you want jibber jabber, I always say this kind of thing. If you want jibber jabber, get the uncut. And I never follow suit, but
Yeah.
We just had a great uncut. We really laid waste of women as a class in uncut. So if you want to hear how we really gave it to women, you're going to want to check that out.
All right.
Jess
What about
is
the
mean when it comes to
quaint
women.
city?
Okay, all right, fine. In the quaint city of Gastonia, North Carolina, a place known for its rich textile history. Now, textiles are things like your clothes, not those little live, laugh, love boards that people have in their houses. I mean, those are technically textiles as well, I guess, but
I bet your house has a live, laugh, love.
we do. We've got one. We've got one.
All right.
I can't tell you what it says right now because it changes quite a bit based on the inspiration of my wife, but it's always profound. I will say that. Like, she finds some really profound things to put on it. And it's in our bathroom downstairs in our entryway. We have a sign that says, get naked. And then it says, just kidding. This is a half bath. Don't make it weird. So that's fun. Anyway, Gastonia, back to Gastonia. We are in the state of North Carolina in Gastonia. So yeah, those are textiles, but they aren't what we would consider the textile industry, okay? But outside of the town's profound fabric foundations, some things far more sinister began to unfold in 2016. So this year of 2016, the city found itself in the headlines, not once, but twice, not related to the case. But firstly, the world of art paid homage to one of its sons, John Thomas Biggers, it's John Thomas Biggers.
Okay.
An African-American artist who connected his Southern roots to ancestral lands through his great artworks. A showcase on June 20th, 2016 celebrated Biggers, born in Gastonia, highlighting his impact on American artistry. So there's a little rabbit hole for you. If you want to check out a new artist who's actually old, check out John Thomas Biggers. Secondly, the thrum of engines and the thrill of speed marked a significant event as the Carolina Speedway welcomed the world of outlaws for the first time on April 29th, bringing the adrenaline of high-banked clay oval racing to an eager audience. So that's Gastonia in a nutshell. Art, race cars. At the heart of the 2016 call that we're going to play, though, are three individuals whose lives tragically intersected. So first, we've got the perp, in this case, Crystal Leah Gambino, a 42-year-old singer and songwriter from Alexis, North Carolina. She led a life that was marked by creativity, but also some turbulence before the tragic incident that culminated in February 2016. She was known for frontlining her band, the Crystal Gambino Band. Wouldn't it be weird if she wasn't the front line, the front man for the Crystal Gambino Band being named Crystal Gambino? That'd be funny. She's just the bass player.
Is she related to the Gambino family? Like,
I don't know. That's a good question. I should have asked. It didn't come up in the research, though. So the Crystal Gambino Band performed Americana and alt-rock music. She had written over 250 songs showcasing her passion for music and storytelling. Were they good songs? I don't know. If you wrote 200, I could write 250 songs. I'm not saying they're good. So anyway, before the incident that shocked the community of Alexis, Crystal had a complicated legal and personal history. She had 2 DWI convictions on her record over the previous 15 years, indicating that there was a bit of a struggle with alcohol. Not uncommon, but definitely kind of a heavy dose in 15 years. Additionally, one of her neighbors recounted an episode where Crystal exhibited some pretty violent behavior, claiming that she had pulled a gun on her during an argument.
ooh,
This event hinted at a propensity for escalating certain situations and confrontations, and maybe a foreboding echo of the tragedy that would later unfold. So her marriage to a guy named Giovanni Gio Gambino, which sounds very, very mob-like,
yeah.
was fraught with difficulties, actually, though. The couple's relationship was described by neighbors as sometimes stormy, indicating periods of instability and conflict. So their home, valued at $78,000, was a 3-bedroom property built by Crystal's great-grandfather, signifying some deep family roots in that area. However, the stability of their domestic life was undermined by some legal and some financial troubles that they had. In 2009, Crystal took out a temporary restraining order against Gio and filed for divorce, also requesting custody of their daughter, though the case was ultimately dismissed. That same year, Gio faced charges of communicating threats against Crystal, which were also dismissed. I'm always interested in cases of things like that, that are dismissed and why they're dismissed. I mean, oftentimes they're dismissed because there's no foundation, there's little substance to it. Other times those kind of things are dismissed because of a plea deal or some extracurricular.
Like a payoff or something.
A payoff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
The couple's financial sorry, what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
No, I didn't write in Jess should speak here into the script, so you have to interrupt me.
I don't have a script, so.
You don't. You can look it up. Go to samsthoughts.doc.
Anyway.
Check out my blog, samthoughts.doc.
No, I was just saying that when there is drop cases like that, I have so many more questions because of wanting an explanation too.
Yeah. Well, in this case, especially like we were talking about on was it the uncut? Yeah. Cause we just jumped right into this with the episode. On the uncut, we were talking about domestic abuse and, what did they call that? They called it parental abduction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we were talking about how in divorce cases, often the parents weaponize their children in custody and all that kind of thing. Makes you wonder if this kind of thing, like she takes out a temporary restraining order, she files for divorce, also requests full custody of their daughter, and then it all gets dismissed. Like,
right.
That's hard to do. There's a mouthful of what she tried to do, and then to have it all dismissed,
I don't even know what she did yet, so.
Yeah, it's a mystery to me too, because I haven't read that far into the script. So let's get back into it. So they also filed for bankruptcy in not just 2009, but also 2012, and then in 2012, that resulted in foreclosure proceedings on their home. So this this is some financial turmoil that was definitely going to complicate their involvement in various business enterprises, which seemed to add layers of stress and complexity to their already strained relationship. Now, I don't know if you know, but there are a couple things that are common topics of concern when it comes to that contribute to divorce and separation. One of them is infidelity. One of them is finances. And the other is that the wife just doesn't get that the guy needs some time to himself. Like, it's not just a PS5, it's a release valve. It's not just time on the internet browsing boobies, it's time with your friends.
That seems like it hits close to home.
Crystal's emotional and mental health struggles were also noted, with treatments for emotional and mental instability indicating a history of psychological challenges. Also, just fun fact to note, share, I don't even have a PS5. So,
Anymore.
what does that say about my relationship? Frickin' fricker. All right, there's a couple more people in this scenario. So we've got Jeffrey Glenn Gilliland and Stephanie Lynn Sanchez, no relation to Dirty. The dynamic between Crystal and her victims, spurred by underlying tensions and secrets, culminated in an act of violence that shattered the tranquility of Gastonia. I always love it when I write a script and I choose to shatter an entire community because of one crime. Like, this caused an uproar throughout the whole community. The community didn't know what to do with itself. It not only locked its doors, it locked its hearts.
But it was like one line in the newspaper.
Yeah, exactly. Crystal Sanchez goes to jail. What will the community do? No one is leaving their homes anymore.
You should probably stop joking about it, because I imagine it's not like the wheelchair one, and it's not going to be funny. Yeah.
No, it's not. This is super not like the wheelchair one.
Okay.
That is a fun ride. This one is a ride where we all are under duress.
Okay.
So here's the lead up. I'll give you the lead up. On the day leading up to the incident, the undercurrents of an impending tragedy were perhaps invisible to the unsuspecting eye. The ordinary beginning of a Monday with Giovanni Gambino, fulfilling the routine task of taking his daughter to school, masked the extraordinary and harrowing events that were about to unfold. So after dropping off his daughter, Gio embarked on a 20-mile journey from Alexis to Charlotte, North Carolina. No relation to Charlotte's Web. A drive that underlined the deception of foreboding that colored his intentions. How am I doing on the poet? I tried to get a little more color into my writing.
You're a great fluffer.
Thanks. Thanks. I'm going to say that last line because I kind of liked writing. A drive that underlined the deception and foreboding that colored his intentions. Now, in Charlotte, Gio met with Jeffrey Glenn Gilliland and Stephanie Lynn Sanchez, who resided together at the Greenleaf Inn, a modest motel characterized by its $55 a night accommodations.
And bed bugs.
The trio. Come for the Wi-Fi, stay for the bed bugs. So the trio's connection had been forged online through Craigslist. Gio had sought out a couple for a threesome, luring them with the promise of payment in cocaine.
I did not see this going this way. I didn't see it going this way.
I know, right?
Okay.
This is interesting now, right? It's
soliciting threesomes and in exchange for cocaine. Okay. All right. What year was this? 17?
2016.
Did you say how old these people were?
They are all. Nope, I didn't. They're adults. They're consenting adults. So this kind of a transaction on Craigslist, I believe, is also known as a blow for a blow. The trio they're all consenting. They were all getting together. They had all hooked up through Craigslist, found an ad, answered the ad. So upon collecting Stephanie and Jeffrey, Gio returned to his home, unwittingly setting the stage for a cataclysmic sequence of events. The day, otherwise unremarkable, turned sinister as the sun began to set, encapsulating the home on Alexis Lucia Road within the quietude that often precedes a storm. Inside, the atmosphere was charged when the tension of forbidden encounters, as Gio led his unsuspecting guests into the intimacy of a bedroom, oblivious to the impending doom that loomed over them. So, just to connect the dots here, Craigslist ad, they're like, yeah, we're in. He's like, I'll drive an hour to pick you up. He picks him up. They probably got some snacks at the gas station, drives all the way back to his house to have this whole encounter happen in his own bedroom? Okay. The scene just before the crime was as ordinary as it was deceiving, with the unsuspecting victims ensnared in Gio's web of deceit, unaware of Crystal Gambino's imminent return. The tranquility of the home was shattered. How can it be tranquil when Crystal... What?
You wrote
I did.
Okay.
I might have been on pre-workout. I think, because I was like, oh, this is good. I'm writing good today. But it wasn't tranquil now that I'm thinking about it.
Okay, so Crystal's going to show up.
Yeah, Crystal shows up. Upon entering the bedroom, was confronted with the sight of her husband naked, entwined in an illicit tryst with Jeffrey and Stephanie. Very similar to Woodstock, minus the mud. This moment of revelation, fraught with betrayal and rage, marked the precipice of a violent unraveling. Crystal, propelled by a maelstrom of emotions, introduced a new prop to the lurid scene. A .44 Magnum. And with that, I bid you with that, I have a call to play.
Okay.
Aren't you glad we didn't have any jibber jabber before this? Because that was long. That was colorful.
You are
That was a lot of writing.
unnecessarily long-winded sometimes, but we love you.
All right, here. Who knows how long this show's going to survive? Here's the call.
February 29th, 2016, 19 hours, 17 minutes, 27 seconds.
Gaston County 911 567 was the address of your emergency. Alexis Lucia Road. Alexis Lucia Road. Alexis Lucia Road. Alexis Lucia Road. What roads that run there? What's it run off of? It's near Highway 27. Okay, and what's your name, sir? And what's the phone number you told me from? Tell me exactly what happened. My sister-in-law has told her family that she killed her husband. She caught him sleeping with another woman, and she cleaned up the bullet casings and took care of the body. Now her sister is moderately crazy, so we don't know. But I have keys to the house, and if a deputy or officer wants to meet me at my house, I can give them the keys and let them in the house. What's her name? Have you talked to anybody else?
No.
Have you made any contact with him or anything?
No, have you tried calling him at all? No.
Are you on the way there now?
No, I'm at my house, so. Supposed to be their address?
Yes, that's their address.
What's his name? You know his birthday by any chance?
Do you have a birthday? Yeah, no, we don't know what it is.
And she's supposed to be there?
Did she go back home or no?
Also out there, do you want to have one contact you as well?
Yeah, I got keys to the house, so if they want to come by here and I can get... See that? Yeah, well, she said one of them may be in the backyard dead. The woman.
Who's in the backyard?
Say that again?
What'd you say about the backyard?
She said she put the woman's body in a wheelbarrow and wheeled her out into the backyard to a burn pile.
Hold on one second.
And this wouldn't be the first time that she's just completely made up stuff before, but...
Okay. All right, hold on one second for me.
All right.
Okay. All right, we'll send some officers out to the address to check, and I'm going to put your name and number in here, and we'll have one of them contact you as well.
Okay.
Okay?
I can go up to the corner store up there at the corner of 27 Alexis Lucia, and if they need the keys to go into the house, I can give them to them there.
Okay. All right, we'll get them on the way there, and we'll have one contact you by phone as well. If you see a block or anonymous number pop up, just go ahead and answer that.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
February 29th, 2016.
Okay. What I found that was interesting about this is this was the brother-in-law. So this was Gio's brother that called. Apparently she wasn't I don't know if she was known for doing this kind of thing or just overstating things.
Mm-hmm.
But she was like, he was kind of like, so yeah, she kind of does this kind of thing. She's done this thing before, like maybe overblown a situation.
Like she has crises all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's interested in communicating the crises to whoever will listen, kind of a thing.
Do you think he didn't believe her? Is that why he was so melancholy?
Yeah. He was suspicious of whether or not this had even happened because he wasn't on scene. He had heard from her.
He's like, see something, say something, or like hear something, say something. So he calls and then.
It also makes you wonder if she knew that he would call based on her telling the information. Now, ahead of me describing the situation and everything, a couple things kind of stand out here. One, I never want to be critical of a victim, but do you really not think you got it coming when you set up a scenario like this and then bring it back to your house? Like, how long have you lived with this woman where you know there's a high likelihood that she's going to come home while you're doing this, right?
Right.
Like he made no effort to like do it somewhere else.
Especially if she has history of maybe reacting. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know.
Overreacting?
Yeah, I don't want to say overreacting because like, I don't know if I caught my husband in bed with a woman, I probably would be psycho too, but.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of my point is.
What did you expect? Yeah. What did you expect bringing someone home? Not that you should justifies killing anybody. That's, I guess, where my holdup was, but.
Right. He met him at a motel. Like this could have happened an hour away from his house, but he decided to bring them back and have this happen in his bedroom. And
you said it was for a threesome. So did he bring, maybe you said this already, but a husband, it was a man and a woman he brought back?
Yeah, he brought a man and a woman back. So it was 3 people. So
it wasn't a threesome to include her. It was just for him. Okay.
Right. Now, if I'm channeling my inner just caught my significant other in a threesome, I can't imagine how a woman feels, but I walk in and there's another guy in my bedroom,
I have way more questions.
I would probably do my best to throw that person out of a window. Like, the threat level goes way up. Like if I came in and it were just females, I'm mad, and shocked and caught off guard and all the things. But when there's another male present in my house, suddenly my self-defense mechanism seems to kick in and, so I can only imagine how she feels. Suddenly there's like two dudes and a girl in her bedroom.
My question as like a woman, if I walked in and my husband had a man and a woman in the bedroom, I would be like, what you doing with the man?
Yeah. Are you catching and receiving? What's the situation?
I'm just a little confused with no history of, that, but I don't know what their history is anyway.
Of bisexuality or anything like that. Right. And I dug, I couldn't find anything that says he had ever had, there was nothing in the case or in the history that showed that he had any tendencies toward being bisexual, at least publicly, or that she was aware of, or that anybody was aware of.
He brings it back to his own house. She comes home and.
Yeah. So Gio's brother makes the call. Again, this is in February 2016, Gastonia, North Carolina. Seemingly ordinary day. The players again, Crystal discovers her husband, Gio, in a compromising position. Not quite sure which one. It might have been Congress of the Cow. I'm not sure. With Jeffrey Glenn Gilliland and Stephanie Lynn Sanchez, whom Gio had invited home for a sexual encounter, arranged through Craigslist and compensated with cocaine at their home. Okay, so here's the timeline of events. Everything that I'm about to say starts with ads. Cause
yeah, I was waiting for.
Okay, we got to pay the bills. All right, here's the gap for hopefully there's ads here because I don't know how well this.
I hope so. I really hope so.
I don't know how well this show's doing anymore. It's not doing as well as Chase's shows, which are charting across the world.
Yeah.
So if you want to hear a good show, go check out Almost Fiction. But if you're okay with subpar level, whatever this show is to you, keep listening. Here are the ads. Okay, we're back. Here's a timeline of events. Morning. Giovanni Gambino takes his daughter to school, then drives 20 miles to Charlotte to pick up Jeffrey and Stephanie from the Greenleaf Inn. Early afternoon, Gio returns home with Jeffrey and Stephanie, leading them into the bedroom for the planned encounter. Approximately 8 p.m. So this isn't just like a fast thing. This is going on and on. It's almost like he's like, no. They're like, well, so are we done? You want to call it a day? And he's like, now let's, what do you guys, so like, what's your favorite color? Seems like he's stretching this out,
Okay.
A concerned family member calls Gaston County Police to request a welfare check on the Gambino residence after receiving a disturbing call from Crystal claiming she had killed her husband and others. Upon arrival of the police, officers arrive at the scene to find a grotesque tableau. Crystal had used a .44 Magnum to shoot all three individuals in the bedroom, stopping to reload her weapon multiple times. In total, 15 shots were fired, with Stephanie being hit 8 times with a .44.
Oh.
I'm trying to put into relation what a .44 Magnum does to the human body.
It blows out the back more than the front, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
it does.
So like a pumpkin, for instance, you would see a hole, but the whole back of the pumpkin would be gone.
Gone.
Yeah.
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 And she got hit 8 times out of the 15 rounds that were shot. Crystal Gambino is found to have methodically attempted to clean the crime scene. She placed the 2 men's bodies in the bedroom, attempted to dispose of Stephanie's body by rolling it out to a burn pile in the backyard using a wheelbarrow and covering it with this debris and a Christmas tree. Oh, oh, oh.
She's crazy. Oh my. Okay.
What?
She's crazy. She was.
Although I gotta say, like, as this is unfolding in my head, I'm thinking she's got a good case for crime of passion.
Until she starts covering her tracks. Well, and putting 15 rounds. One did the trick.
One definitely did the trick. Like, you're turning the body into paste after 8 rounds with the 44.
That's horrible. That's horrible. Some unbeknownst Craigslisters.
Yeah.
Okay.
They didn't ask for this.
So the police came.
Yeah, police came. They secure the area, confirm the presence of 3 deceased individuals, and begin their investigation. So Crystal makes an effort to erase evidence of the crime. She washes the bedding, drags the mattress outside, and collects shell casings. However, she's interrupted by the need to pick up her daughter from school, preventing her from concealing the crime completely. Crystal Gambino is arrested shortly after the incident at a relative's home in Stanley, charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. Here's the punishment. This is where things kind of go meh. Following the tragic events of February 29th, 2016, in Alexis, Gaston County, North Carolina, the legal proceedings against Crystal Gambino unfolded as follows. After the incident, Crystal was arrested at a relative's home in Stanley. She had murdered Gio, Jeffrey, and Stephanie. Crystal was held at the Gaston County Jail without bond pending her court hearing. Initially, Crystal planned to plead guilty to 3 counts of first-degree murder as part of a plea deal negotiated between her lawyer and Gaston County District Attorney Locke Bell. However, the plea hearing was abruptly canceled by DA Locke Bell an hour before its scheduled start without a provided explanation. Apparently, they don't need to explain why they're pulling the deal. So then there was a revised plea deal. Despite opposition from the victims' families and the initial plea deal's cancellation, a revised plea agreement was later put back on the table. So Crystal Gambino was ultimately sentenced to 29 years in prison. She pled guilty to 2 counts of second-degree murder for the deaths of Stephanie and Jeffrey, and 1 count of involuntary manslaughter for the death of Gio. The plea deal was offered in consideration of Crystal's documented mental health issues and the potential perception of her actions as a crime of passion, which could have led to a lesser sentence had the case gone to trial. So the families of the victims were really dissatisfied with the plea deal and the final sentence. In court, Jennifer Burke, Jeffrey's sister, addressed Crystal, expressing her hope that Crystal would be tormented by her conscience for her actions. Crystal, in turn, apologized to the victims' families, acknowledging the irreversible tragedy she had caused, albeit understanding that her apologies might not be accepted. Now, this is where I don't know what's wrong with me, maybe, because somebody says to me, I hope you're tormented by the consequences of your actions. I kind of want to stand up and be like, hey, do you remember what, like, how Gio, like, planned this? Like, this was a real bad thing. I mean, I killed 3 people. I get it. But your brother was no saint.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm conflicted.
I don't say that I agree with that, but just doesn't justify. I mean, if he was holding her child captive or something, then yeah, maybe. But they're having you don't have to. I guess maybe what they're justifying it with is, maybe justification is not the right word, but her mental health, which, yes, obviously she had issues, and
yeah,
but that doesn't mean that you go and kill people because they're having sex with each other.
What I find that's kind of interesting.
It's not putting her in immediate danger. So you're not defending yourself.
Right.
It is a crime of passion, I guess, but I don't know.
Yeah. So the crime of passion, I'd say, is the banner here. What I think's interesting though is they kind of half believed the crime of passion and half leaned in on the mental health thing. And so because of that, the conviction is sort of just a drubbing. Like nobody's happy with it. It's 29 years, which to anybody who looks at this and says, well, this leads as a mental health issue, that's excessive. It's excessive if you think of it as a crime of passion. But then if you think of it just as murder, it's less than acceptable, you know?
It just seems like the court system took what they could think that he could get away with, like could get conviction on.
Yeah.
Instead of what was really just, if that makes sense, or would satisfy maybe both parties more. They just took, which I hate to say that, but a lot of times I do think that the court system takes the easiest route possible so that they can get a conviction.
Yeah, and that's very true. They will lead with, prosecution will lead with what they know that they could stick, and sometimes they're a little averse to risk when it comes to that. They don't want to.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Also, what I don't understand is it's a very closed loop as far as the murder goes. It happened in a room. There's 3 individuals that got gunned down, but there's nuance to why one person was killed in a certain fashion versus the other 2. So she gets the 2nd-degree murder charges, right? Was that right? 2nd degree?
Yeah. And then manslaughter for him, which doesn't make sense.
And then involuntary manslaughter. That's like accidentally hitting somebody with your car. That's like, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So nobody was really happy with this as an outcome for this, but that's what it is. And so now Crystal Gambino, until further notice, is sitting there stewing in a prison, waiting out her 29-year sentence. I don't even know, like, the moral to the story here. The moral to the story is
There's no moral.
Don't. If you're going to put a threesome together on Craigslist and you pick them up at a motel, at an inn, stay there.
Just don't
Go home. Also, here's one more thing. Maybe adds insult to injury. Apparently, she had to pick up the kid that night, right? After school or whatever. What are you thinking? Crystal's not going to show up alone. You're about to add a whole heaping of real trauma to a child because you're stretching this tryst out in your own bedroom. Like, you know how this is going to go. It's not just you and Crystal in the house. I don't know. I'm grossed out by how irreverent I think he was in what he did, because this had an inevitable outcome. I'm not saying murder was the inevitable outcome, but this had an inevitable outcome.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be positive, but it didn't have to be 15 rounds deep. Like, you don't have to. That's when you think about the crime itself, of the force that was used, and then she tried to hide it and then go about her business. Yeah. Hopefully she doesn't get out on early release. So that's my opinion.
I mean, she did pick favorites when it came to shooting people. She definitely saw the woman as more of a perpetrator in the situation than anybody else. She really made that known.
Do you have a happy ending?
I do have a happy ending. And it's funny, and it's very self-explanatory again. So I'm just going to play it, and we'll just enjoy it. But I'll just give you a hint. If you ever do a drug deal and you are disappointed in the outcome of the drug deal, the cops are the wrong ones to call to try to settle the conflict. So here we go.
I don't find anything over there. Harvey just tore that car apart. No drugs.
So
No sort of. How much money are we
I had $100 worth of crack,
Mm-hmm.
and I tried to give it to him. I tried to snatch the money from his hand so he wouldn't run from me, and he just grabbed everything. He grabbed everything,
He
gave me a
cuffing you.
$5 bill.
He did give
So
her
he
$5
sold
she
me.
did get back in the
He
car with the
robbed me
$5
for
bill.
for $95.
Why did he have money and you had money? Why were you handing him money and drugs?
No.
Because you understand this
I was
doesn't make sense.
handing him the drugs, and he went to hand me the money.
Right.
So I grabbed it.
So he robbed you of drugs.
He robbed me of drugs.
Not
but
money.
He took
You really
$95.
you're really reporting.
Yes, sir. Yes, I am.
You're reporting.
I'm out here on the streets, and I'm trying to get a
This
little
is
bit of
quite
money.
possibly the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. You are reporting that someone stole the drugs that you were trying to sell them.
Sir, I'm broke. I'm just trying to make a little bit
At
of
what
money.
point does this make any sense? At what point?
It doesn't make
At
any
what
sense.
point do you think telling the cops that someone stole?
I'm being honest. He's not being honest. Where's what he?
Are there drugs in this car?
No,
ain't
there
there not
isn't.
be no drugs in my car.
There
She a
isn't.
Karen.
There
She a
isn't.
Karen.
469. This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
469.
Okay, where's the red Cadillac?
It's right here. It's clean. The guy didn't have anything but his paycheck's worth of cash on him.
Okay, arrest hiding for false report.
Yeah, we're gonna rip through the whole car.
There's nothing
Arrest
in
her right
there.
now.
I don't have anything.
You don't have anything at all?
We don't
Come over
have
here. Let me just
anything.
check your
I don't
pockets real
have
quick.
anything.
Okay? Let me see.
I'm done. Oh, y'all arrested her?
Come here.
Hey, take the cigarette. Here.
Come here.
Take the cigarette. Take the cigarette.
Come here.
Okay.
Do you have anything on you?
I don't have anything on
Do you
me.
have anything in your pockets
I don't.
that could poke me, stick me, or stab me? Any
No.
drugs?
No, sir.
No?
No.
You know I don't trust you anymore, right? You know that the trust we had is down the fucking street. Right?
Yes, sir.
What's this?
Money.
Oh, you've been out here fucking hustling, huh? Oh,
I'm
look
broke.
at
I don't have a
you.
job. I gotta make it some way.
Look at you. Ill-gotten gains. Okay, come here. Slide up in there.
Shit. I have no space.
Great,
in here,
just
man.
crawl your ass up in there. Heidi, turn your dumb ass around too.
Oh my God, I cannot believe this.
Come here.
Oh Lord.
Come here.
Oh Jesus.
Walk over here.
Oh my.
You initially reported the crime, which
Yes,
was a
I
lie.
did, because I thought she
You
really
said,
got robbed.
yeah, you said she got robbed of money.
Yes.
Yeah, you lied to me again, huh?
Oh
You've been
my
fucking with me all night.
God.
Do you have anything in your pockets?
No.
King November George,
Oh my
Sierra 40, King November George, Sierra
Do you have anything else in your pockets?
No, I don't.
Okay, come here.
Oh Lord.
Climb your dumb ass up in there too. Great.
Oh my.
Slide in. Slide. Keep sliding.
They found something in your car?
Here.
Oh my God.
Your followers can watch you from
There's
there.
nothing in the car. Why are you arresting us?
Do you know what false report is?
Oh.
Do you want me to report? Do you want me to? Do you want to be arrested for drug sales or false reporting?
No. Oh my God.
Dispatch, show me with 2 in custody. I'm going to have 469 send over the details in a minute after he's gone through their car. It's going to be 2 for false reporting.
Karen.
There
She a
isn't.
Karen.
This is so poetic.
Was that a real interaction?
That's real. Oh, I come across that one because I've said before, I watch a lot of like body cam videos.
Seemed like a cops episode.
And I'm constantly impressed or frustrated by how patient cops are. with people that are just lying to their face. I just love, it was like cathartic to listen to this guy be like, get your ass up there. Just like, he was so done with it. And also, I just love the fact that like nobody saw their crime coming. Like nobody saw the outcome of their crimes coming. Is so good.
They probably knew if it was from cops, they're like, oh, cops is in town. Let's call them on ourselves.
Well, so she was mad that she lost the money, that he tried to grab the drugs and the money. And then the other guy's like, yeah, she only got back in the car with $5. Like, where's this going to go? Where do you think it's going to go? Oh man, it was a good time. That was a good time. They both got arrested, and then they were released on bail. So if you're worried about them at all.
Huh.
Anyway, shout outs on this episode. The research for this episode, Rachel Spillers. Thanks for your research on the 911 call. Writing on this one, it was me, and I apologize. Happy ending. I got that one. 1159 Media is owned and operated by probably not the same person that if 1159 were to get acquired, the acquiring party would be like, yeah, we need to have another guy in charge. So that's understandable. But right now it's me. Editing of this show to make me sound more smarter, Chase Ellerman, and our host with the eyebrows that can cut your soul and tell you when to cut your conversation, Jess. Thank you all for being here. Everybody in the back door that showed up today for this. Some of you knew that it was probably unbeknownst that it was going to be a repeat on the uncut because of all my hardware difficulties. I didn't even mention that on the show, but my
Okay.
tried to record this the other day and couldn't do it. So, well, if you like what you heard here, I don't know why, but give us a 5-star and then give us any critical input or feedback you have. If you like more of this and you didn't hear the uncut, check us out on patreon.com/1159media or 1159plus.com. You can find the uncut there. If you got lazy fingers and you're on Apple Podcasts, scroll up to the top. You'll find that you can find this uncut in our channel. And with that, I bid you all adieux. Hugs, everybody.
Goodbye.